Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of talk radio. Political opinions have been a staple of radio since the early 1920s. Talk radio as a listener participation format has existed since at least the mid-1940s. WMCA New York's Barry Gray was bored with playing music and put a telephone receiver up to his microphone to talk with band leader Woody Herman. This was soon followed by listener call-ins. In 1948, disc jockey Alan Courtney began a call-in program on WGBS Miami. The Alan Courtney Open Phone Forum was a conservative and anti-communist political forum with coverage area over the southeast United States and Cuba. In the 50s, Joe Pine, John Nebel, and Gene Shepard were among the first to explore the medium. In recent years, talk radio has gained popularity with many new formats flourishing, including all sports in 1986 with the birth of WFAN New York. The subject matter for these formats are different, but the structure has remained the same for all these years. You might say, talk radio is a 20th century format. Until now, that is. It's 2014. And radio pioneer and innovator Alex Bennett introduces the Citizen Panel on GABNet, the first revolutionary idea in the format since its inception. The Citizen Panel allows for an open discussion to take place between the host and many listeners all at the same time. Listeners claim that it's addictive, producing stimulating discussions on any topic from politics to movies and entertainment. It's not liberal or conservative. It's open to all opinions and ideas. Log on to GABNet.net to listen and find out how you can participate. Listen to the programs on GABNet and take a step into 21st century talk radio. Reasons why you tune into GABNet. Reason number 29, the Citizen Panel.
I'm saying that he could actually, a good lawyer might be able to make a case that he cannot get a fair trial anywhere in the United States because the President of the United States said, quote, he should be executed. And if you can't find a fair jury anywhere in this country because they've all been exposed to this.
No, he'll never go to trial if he's treated as an enemy combatant.
He's not being treated as an enemy combatant, Phil.
He's basically a citizen. He has a green card. He has all the rights that a citizen of the United States has because he has a green card. Either you want to follow the Constitution of the United States or not. Go to Russia if you don't want to follow the rules.
He said that he did this for ISIS. He had a note in his thing. He had phone calls on his cell phone, and he says that he did it for ISIS. Therefore,
okay, so Phil, if you did that, you should be able to be treated as enemy combatant.
I think so.
GABNet. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to GABNet.net for more. GABNet. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey, hey everybody, it's Alex Bennett. Hey, by the way, Damien, you're a trooper. You know, fuck Skype. Anyway, we'll get to the Skype calls a little bit later in our program, but it's the new year, and, well, listen here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new year. It's brand new Bubs. Hello, Larry Bubbles Brown.
A brand new, bright attitude. Looking forward.
You've got a whole new attitude towards life,
Yes.
do you? You're going to take a positive outlook towards it?
Very positive, yeah.
Yeah, very positive. Yeah, how you been?
Everything in my life is positive. My hepatitis test.
Did you have a hepatitis test?
That'd be the only thing that would be positive.
For hepatitis?
Yes.
Yeah, well, let's see. Well, you and I have one ailment in common. We both have a hernia.
Yeah, and mine's not getting better. So.
Well, I just watch the bulge keep growing, you know.
Yeah, they get bigger.
Yeah. But so far, it doesn't bother me anymore. It was hurting me.
It doesn't bother you. You're fine. So,
I guess, you know. Here we go, folks. It's a brand new year with Bubs and Alex.
Our ailment of the month.
Yeah, our ailment of the month. Oh, God damn it. Boy, I'm telling you. So, well, I'm sitting around. I've been waiting for a test to come back on my prostate. So I sit here and I'm waiting. It went up last time, so now I'm waiting for it to go maybe up further or down. You don't know where it's going to go, and so therefore, as a control freak, I have no control over what my body is going to say, you know? And so that drives me crazy. You know?
Yeah, of course.
It drives me nuts. And I don't know why I let it drive me nuts. It really shouldn't, you know? I should just go, well, it'll be okay. See, here's what happens at my age. They did this about my, let's see, they do it about the prostate, and there's one other thing they do it about. And they go, well, at your age, before it could, if you started having prostate problems now, you know, if you had prostate cancer now, it's so slow growing in most cases that you'll be dead before it gets bad.
Right.
Meaning that I'm going to die soon. That's what they're thinking, you know.
That's the way you read it.
if they know I'm going to live to be 100, they go, we better have that prostate operation, right? You know, but otherwise it's, oh, you don't worry. By the time it gets lethal, you'll be gone anyway. And they did the same thing with my colonoscopy. They don't give them to you after 75. You know why? Because they grow so slowly that if you do have colon cancer, you'll be dead before it gets you.
Oh, I didn't know that about that. That's interesting.
So it's nice to know I'm in that range where I don't have to take tests anymore because I'll probably die of something else first. And you go,
well, speaking of, I thought of you yesterday. I drove by that airport where you were in that crash years ago.
Oh, yeah, my airplane crash. Bill Mann, who was a writer for the Oakland Tribune at the time, I don't know whatever happened to him, got his pilot's license, and he said, why don't I pick you up at the airport, and we'll go for a flight, and we'll go over to Santa Rosa, we'll have some breakfast, and then we'll fly back. And I thought to myself, I'd just broken up with my girlfriend, okay, and I was miserable about it. And I didn't have a job at the time. And I went to myself, well, you know, what else can go wrong?
Let's go up with a new pilot.
So I go up, he just got his pilot's license, right? He just was certified to pilot. And he picks me up at the Petaluma Airport. Was it Petaluma? Novato.
Nevada, which has a bad crosswind.
Yeah. And well, you're spoiling the story by saying it has a bad crosswind because that's the rest of the story. So anyway, so we go, we have breakfast. He takes off. I'm impressed that he can take off and that he then can land. I think that's even more of an accomplishment that you can land. And then we have our breakfast. And now I'm pretty calm that he's going to do okay. And in this atmosphere of what else could go wrong, we start pulling into the Novato airport, and there is as you said, horrible crosswind at the Novato airport. It in many ways is one of the more dangerous airports to land on.
It is, yeah.
Because you've got these mountains or something, and it causes a crosswind. Well, he didn't know that. And he tries to land the plane. Now, when a guy feels that there's a crosswind and that he can't land properly, he just touches and goes. He goes back up and comes around. That's if you're experienced. But if you're not experienced, you may have practiced touch and go, but you don't know when to use it. And he didn't know when to use it, and we hit the tarmac. And the wind blew us off of the tarmac across the grass into another lane, I guess another takeoff strip, right? And then across that and at 70 miles an hour into a ditch. And I guess most of you listening to me have never been in a plane crash before. But the first thing you do is you say to yourself, am I still alive? And then you realize you are. Because you can see people starting to run out to the plane to see if you are. And also, you then sit there for a moment and go, I wonder how much of me is broken.
Yeah.
Right? So I open the door, and I move one foot out, and I find that I can move, okay, and I get out of the plane, and I'm in one piece. And I've got a couple of little bruises on my hands or whatever, and what's his name? Bill has a couple of bruises on his legs as a result of this, but we're both okay. So I just walked away and I went, you know, if I survive this, I can survive anything, and I went and fought to get my career back. So
that's a good.
So
it was a positive story.
It was a positive story, yeah, but it was not. It was not fun. And the next day,
was the plane damaged?
Oh yeah, the whole engine was wound up in the passengers.
Holy
compartment.
Christ!
I mean, missed us by inches, and the propeller was completely broken, you know, and so was Bill's spirits because he never flew again. So,
oh really?
Yeah. That he said, well, that's it for me.
Well, you ought to.
And he had spent, you know, a year learning how to fly.
Oh, it's very expensive, yeah.
And passing all the things you got to pass and all of that, you know, only to come to the point where he was so depressed by it he never flew again. So.
Well, I'd love to get the FAA would have a record of that incident. We ought to get a copy of it.
Probably.
Yeah, they definitely would. Yeah.
Yeah. Sound of impact. Yeah.
Sound of him. But you survived.
Well, we didn't have any recorder, you know, flight recorder in the plane.
Not in the little ones,
whatever.
No.
Yeah. So, but it was something. You know, I mean, you know, and then I think I got back together with my girlfriend again, and then she broke up with me again. So, you know, that one never went well, but I got my job back at Live 105, I think it was. And I think that's when it happened. Yeah, it happened when I was in between the times when they fired me and brought me back.
Okay.
And so, you know, I figured I'd rent myself out. And here's why. You're afraid of flying, right?
Not as much as I used to be. I've gotten better with it.
But when you were afraid of flying,
yeah,
would you have been willing to pay me $1,000 to sit in the seat next to you?
Yeah.
Because then you could say, what are the chances that he'll be in another plane crash? And the chances aren't very good.
No.
You know? So I was going to hire myself out as somebody who would sit with you on a plane flight to make sure that it wasn't going to crash. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. So, what do you rent yourself out as?
I go cheap. I'll go for $100. You know, I read that James Michener, the author, he has survived 3 plane crashes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine if you fly enough. Here's the thing I wonder about. You know, comedians like Bobby Slayton flew. He had so many air miles he never used them.
Yeah, you know? Leno had like 1 million air miles, I think, and he flew every weekend. So
yeah, and you would think that with every flight you're taking, you're tempting the fate. You know,
right. I guess it shows you how safe it actually is. Because think about all the sports teams that fly every week, and
yeah,
there's never been there is a Major League Baseball has a very secret plan that if a team crashes, they I guess they're going to take players from other teams to rebuild that team if that ever happens. And they said it's a very secret plan, but.
Well, I mean, you got to have that in place because it's always a possibility, you know. It's always a possibility. Excuse me, I have to blow my nose. Hold on a second. Had to kill my mic when I did that because I didn't want people to hear me blowing my nose. Or they could hear me blowing my nose by going...
You always hit the cough button.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I mean, would you rent your... Well, of course, you rent yourself out as a comedian.
Yes, I'm a whore, so I'll rent myself out.
And that's a death-defying experience in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time you go on stage, aren't you afraid of failing?
Afraid of course, yeah.
To this day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, how often do you bomb?
It can happen to any comic at any time, that's what they say.
Well, there's this comedian, Tiffany Haddish, who, I don't know, she's a black comedian, so she doesn't have to be funny. I'm not saying that in any racist fashion. I'm just saying that people automatically, as soon as she uses a lot of the black speak, people will laugh at that, which is kind of racist in and of itself. But anyway, Tiffany Haddish went on a couple of weeks ago, the big story, and bombed. Just totally. It was like a New Year's show, and she was drunk or something, and she totally bombed. And everybody was on her case about bombing. And bombing is a part of doing comedy, you know. Like, have you seen really great comedians just bomb?
Uh-huh. Who have I seen? Dana Carvey was telling me he had a bomb a few years ago for some private gig he did. He said he was just up there sweating for 45 minutes, which I didn't see it, but I can't. It's hard to imagine Dana bombing, but he said, yeah, it was horrible.
Well, yeah, but everybody bombs. I'm sure Slayton, if I had Slayton here, I'd say, have you ever bombed? And he'd go, oh, God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Who knows why you bomb? Because you could bomb tonight, and tomorrow night people are rolling in the aisles.
Yeah, or you can do two shows in the same night and kill on one and bomb on the other.
Do you remember the worst time you ever bombed?
Well, it all depends on if there's anything at stake. I remember when I was a new comic and I was on the verge of getting the Tonight Show. I had to go down to L.A. for the final run-through, and I bombed down there at the Improv. So that was a bad one.
Oh, okay. That's a bad one.
Yeah, I remember total silence.
Because if you had succeeded, you would have been on the Tonight Show.
Yeah. The final run if I went good on that one, I had the Tonight Show.
I think if you'd gone on the Tonight Show, you would have done very well. Because you did very well on Letterman both times.
Yeah. And it's easy. TV's, like they said, the Tonight Show was the hardest show to get, but the easiest set to do. So, because the crowd's really wired up, but it's just getting there is the hard part. So.
Yeah. Now, you did great on Letterman both times.
Oh,
20 years apart, but both times.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. I mean, and everybody who was sitting in San Francisco watching you on the first Letterman was sitting there going, good going, Bubs, you know? I mean, we all knew it was a good set, you know? And Letterman, how did Letterman react? Did he invite you over, or was he just complimenting?
Actually, you do your set, then they took a commercial break, and you're sitting next to him when they come back, and they have some bit they set up. You do a prearranged thing, and we did that, and he was very nice. Said, "Well, great job. Please come back." And
and
21 years later, I did.
You took his word for it. Was it 21 years?
Yeah, 21.
Oh boy! But now here's a trivia question. Who was the biggest person ever to bomb on the Letterman show?
The biggest?
I'll give you a clue. I never remind him of this.
Somebody we know?
Mm-hmm.
I think Will had a rough set.
It was terrible. It was horrible. Even he will admit it was horrible. I mean, he knew it. But he bombed big time. And it wasn't that, I think it was he made bad choices. And I think it was based on Bob Morton's suggestions. Oh, hey, do that. That's good. Do that. That's good. You know, and it was all the stuff. He should have listened to his own inner feelings on what works and what doesn't work. You know.
Bob, whatever happened to Bob Morton?
Morty's down in L.A. somewhere doing stuff. You know, he's always been kind of working on some level, you know. But he was David Letterman's producer, folks, in case you don't know.
He was my first Letterman was the first show where Morty was producer, because they'd fired, who was the guy that did SCTV?
Oh, yeah. Barry Sands.
Sands?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired, and Morty was the first show that he produced. That was the one I was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Morty, I can't remember, I think I know who the comedian was. Morty came to San Francisco to just check out comics, and also because it gives you a weekend in San Francisco.
Right.
And listen to me, I'm sniffling and everything. What is wrong with me? Jeez,
me too. It's allergies.
Oh, is it allergies this time of year?
It is for me, yeah. They're all year round now here.
Wow. Anyway, so I drag him out to Tommy T's in San Leandro to go see some comics out there. And I think it was Pearl that he said, I love him. He said he's terrific. But I'm doing this show, you know, I'm booking this show for Dave, and Dave would hate him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it might have been Steven. I can't remember. I think it was, if memory serves correctly. Because, I was hyping him on Pearl at that point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he's terrific, but, you know, he's got the kind of jokes, the kind of humor that Dave would hate. Now, in those days, Dave was really a bear when it came to stuff, you know. I mean, he hated himself. So how was he going to love other people, you know? So, I mean, and you know, I mean, Morty was right. You're booking, you know, you're not booking for yourself, for your taste. You're booking for your boss's taste.
Right.
And he felt that I think it was Pearl. It was either Pearl or somebody like him, like Rubin or somebody like that. Might have been Rubin. Could have been Rubin. Because I think Dave didn't like loud comics. You know, comics that would come out and yell and scream, and you know, he never, you know, for years, from the inside, I heard Dave didn't like Robin on his show. He knew he had to have him on because he was a big star, but he didn't like having him on because he lost all control when Robin was on.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
And that he always wanted to be able to control the situation, and he couldn't when Robin was on because Robin was just, you know, all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't hate Robin. It's just he didn't like working with Robin.
I can see that.
And I can see that. Yeah, you know. I mean, when I was, doing my show in San Francisco, I wanted comedians somewhat that would pay attention when I would say, hold it down. You know. You ever notice I sometimes give you a hand signal? Well, not you. You never were that boisterous.
No,
but you ever notice I would kind of orchestrate with my hands?
Oh, yeah. It's because some of those guys are just out of control.
Yeah, and I would go, come on, hold it down. I would just give the hold it down sign, which you could do on radio because nobody would know you were doing it. But, you know, you don't like... Okay, I think the best way to describe it is you don't want somebody hijacking your show.
Yeah.
And Robin always hijacked the show. Constantly. So, you know, what have you. So anyway, so what did you do over New Year's and stuff? You worked, right?
I worked with our old buddy Rob Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
And that was wound the year up with that.
Where was that?
San Jose Improv.
Uh-huh.
And the one thing I've known, which is 100, was built in 1904. And anytime you go to a theater in California that's over 75 years old, is the first, Charlie Chaplin worked here. They always say that, Charlie Chaplin.
Well, because Charlie Chaplin made all his early films in, what town?
Niles.
Niles.
Which is next to Fremont, which is some crappy suburb out here.
Yeah, and Niles.
Yeah, he did make a lot of movies there.
His first films for the first company he worked for were all done in Niles. So they always say, Charlie Chaplin played here. Yeah, all right, good. Good for you, pal. You know, I'm happy Charlie Chaplin played there. But anyway, so how did the New Year's festivities go? Because usually that's a terrible night to do comedy.
They were okay. They're not like you said, that girl that bombed on New Year's. I could understand why, because it's kind of a... People just go out because they feel they have to go out. It's generally not good crowds for comedy.
They feel they have to go out, and if they go out, they have to drink. So you've got a drunk audience.
Have to drink. They have to. We have to force ourselves to have fun.
Yeah, and so it's a night of buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
because it can never live up to the hype. You know.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
the best New Year's shows were the ones you did at the Palace of Fine Arts.
Yeah, I missed doing those. Those I really enjoyed, and actually they were good shows because while there were drinks being served in the lobby, I believe it was just like it was an auditorium show.
Yeah, you don't have a bunch of waitresses running around dropping glasses and.
Yeah. And, and we did two shows. We would do an early show, started, I think, at 7, and then we would do the late show, which started at I think we did 11 o'clock or something like that, and then we would break for midnight, Happy New Year, and then we would bring on the main act for the night. So, who were some of the people we had on those New Year's shows? Do you remember?
You had David Tell, you had Reuben, Feldman, who else?
I would always hire the same people for the subsidiary acts, and then I'd always book one person like a Tell.
Yeah, you have someone like a Tell, but be local like Greg Proops. And
yeah.
I think you had, didn't you have Kevin Meaney?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of these people were just local acts at the time.
Yeah.
If people can understand that, how Kevin Meaney could be a local act. Well, no, he was, and he was very popular locally.
Yeah.
Those were the days when you could make a living being a local comic.
Yeah.
Now you have to have a good friend like Rob Schneider.
So, you have to have Rob Schneider and Dana Carvey.
Or Dana Carvey. Well, listen, those guys work enough that, it's going to keep you working.
Yeah, although Dana doesn't do as much. Rob works like a maniac. Dana's really working on getting his kids in he goes out to help his kids. So.
And I think they like you as a opening comic because you're not going to spoil the crowd. You have your own little thing, and you're funny and you're low key, and then they come up with their high key stuff, and you're perfect for that.
Even if I kill, I'm not hard to follow. So.
Right. Hey, listen, we've run out of time. It
just breezes by.
It just breezes by. It's good to hear from you again, and good to see that you're still alive after the new year.
We survived another year.
We survived another year. Ladies and gentlemen, he's funny. He may be playing in your neighborhood sometime soon, so hide your children. His name is Larry Bubbles Brown. Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Alex.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
And there he was, Larry Bubbles Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy. I am sick tonight. I have some kind of horrible thing that I got a little sore throat yesterday, and today I've just been feeling like holy shit. So I think I can do the show tonight. I think I can make it through the whole show, but if I can't, you'll have to excuse me, all right? And I'll have to say I'm sorry. Either that or I'll let whoever's calling do the job for me. But as you can hear, my voice is a little hoarse, and it's not good. It's not good. Okay, so bear with me if you can. Let me see here. Let me open up the Skype lines. Something that I'm able to do here, but that what's his name, wasn't. Damien. He had problems because Skype decided to literally upgrade his Skype program without him really asking. So it was terrible. And I feel so sorry for him that he had to go through that, because I know what it's like, you know. You come on, you've got stuff you want to talk about. He said he had a good show planned, and then all of a sudden you can't do it because you spend your whole time dealing with technical problems. And I know the feeling, Damien, but you were a real, what can I call it, a real trooper tonight, and I appreciate it. And I'm sure so did your audience as well. And plus, we've found out in the past the audience loves nothing more than to hear that we've got technical problems. It gets a larger audience. I don't know why. They like to hear us fail, I think. That's what the whole thing's about. But anyway, I'm waiting for somebody to call. And I really don't have the strength to talk a lot tonight. So, oh, man, I'm plugged up, and I'm screwed up here, and so I need people to call so somebody else can talk for me, so I don't have to. If you don't know how to get on with us, go over to Skype. Go over to GABNet.net, and over there it'll tell you exactly on the right-hand side of the page how to get in touch with us. By the way, you'll notice something missing tonight, as of tonight, on up above where we list all the ways you can listen to us. You can no longer hear us on TuneIn. Our live signal is not being carried any longer by TuneIn. They sent me a letter saying they were ending their contract with me. And this was a couple of months ago, and they said they were going to do it the 1st of January. And I figured what that meant was we had a little contract about being partners, but I didn't think it had anything to do with just taking us off altogether. So you can't get us on TuneIn any longer, and I don't know why. I don't know why they've changed their policy, but fuck them. Nobody listened to us on TuneIn anyway. So, hello, Phil.
Hey, how you doing? No TuneIn?
Huh?
No TuneIn?
Yeah.
Well, I guess what's going on?
Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why?
Well, it's a nice day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. My forklift broke today.
Oh, really?
They're going to have to tow it, take it apart, and do major work to it.
Well, you can't work without the forklift, right?
I mean, deliveries were coming in, and I had to turn them away. Yeah. It wasn't a fun day.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been a fun day for me either, because I've been sick all day with this.
Yeah,
cold.
That's going around.
Yeah, but
at least out here.
Well, you say it's going around in California, but I'm not supposed to get it here, right?
Well, maybe. People go from place to place. What's the weather like out there?
What?
What's the weather like?
The weather is cold. It's cold. And it was a bit damp today, too. I don't know. I didn't go outside.
Yeah.
No, I don't go outside. Hello to Rob, and hello to Charlie as well, who's joining us.
He's here. Well, you say it's going around in California, but I'm not supposed to get it here, right?
Turn your audio.
Maybe,
Turn the audio down.
What's the weather like? What?
You have your audio feed on,
Charlie, you've got your audio feed up. Turn the audio feed off.
He figured it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's the internet equivalent of please turn down your radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no tune-in, huh?
No tune-in anymore. No.
How the hell can I listen? How do I listen to you on my iPhone then?
Just do it on the GABNet site.
Go to the GABNet site. Go to that's if you want to hear the live stream.
Oh, you can also hear the show that you post.
No, wait a minute. I'm trying to think.
No, but if I want to listen to the live stream,
Yeah.
Oh, you can listen to that on the GABNet site.
You can listen to it on the GABNet site.
Well, let me ask you this. Does it automatically, like TuneIn was good at automatically switching from when one show ended till the next show beginning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And does the GABNet site do that?
Oh, yeah.
The GABNet
just
site
continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It does. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, that's our. See, this is how really sick I am and how loopy I am these days. The 24/7 is going out over our GABNet site. So, who else is there? Anybody else getting our 24/7? I'm trying to think. I don't know of any, but there may well be.
The FCC patrol.
Yeah, but that's it. But that was the only place you could do it. But the thing is, nobody listened to it. I mean, it wasn't that. It wasn't like everybody went to TuneIn. Did you use TuneIn a lot?
That's the only way I listen.
Oh, I see. Oh.
I just use the GABNet site.
Yeah. You can use the GABNet site, or you can hear the individual shows that you want by going to the GABNet on demand, or you can go to.
But when you're driving, it's cumbersome. Put on TuneIn, and in fact, TuneIn is one of those applications that works with Apple CarPlay, so I can just click on the icon and go straight to GABNet and listen while I'm driving. Where with just having to go to the website, now you're having to put in a web address, and then you're having to find the place to click. It's certainly much more cumbersome.
Well, there is an actual address for the signal now that you would have to probably pipe that into your or code that into your browser. But
make an icon.
But we do have an actual. In fact, hold on a second. If I go to the GABNet site and I click on there we go. If you click on to the feed, okay, you click onto the feed,
and it opens up a player.
It opens up a player. At the top of that player, it's just a web page, but at the top of that player is the Shoutcast. What do you call it? The Shoutcast address for the whole thing. If you just have that address in there, you can just go to that anytime, And a lot of times there are players that you can get to pick up various audio services, and you can program it in as well.
Right.
But you see,
that worked. I was able to, and pretty easily was able to go to GABNet.net and click on the red banner.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
And it opened up another browser, and it pointed it directly to the Shoutcast page, and it started playing. So that's cool.
I wish that it would be nice if TuneIn kept doing it. TuneIn will accept. I just tried it tonight, and we'll see if it gets on. But I can give them the URL for our shows so that they can have them like Spotify has them or anything else has them.
So what happened to TuneIn? They either went out of business, or because you're no longer a TuneIn partner, they dumped you?
I don't know what they did. I think they decided to get rid of people they figured were not important to them. But,
interesting, because I had it as if I'm on TuneIn right now, and where it says recents, the only thing I really listen to TuneIn for is ESPN Radio and GABNet, and they were two icons next to each other, and the GABNet one disappeared.
Yep. So that's what happened. Fuck them.
Write him a nasty gram. I'll write him a nasty gram.
Well, why don't you just start wearing a tuxedo? Because if you're going to be impotent, you got to look impotent.
See, if you go to the old address, on TuneIn, it says, "Oops, we're no longer carrying this channel." Now, why they're not? They didn't say in the letter to me why they were going to stop. I thought they were just going to stop with our agreement.
The partnership, right?
The partnership. I didn't think they were just going to stop carrying it.
I wonder what would happen if you. How did you get started in the first place? Just before the partner?
They applied for it, I think.
I just applied for it. You can't apply for one anymore for a live broadcast. I can give them a podcast.
Okay.
I can give them the daily podcast stuff.
I wonder if it's based on the amount of streams that the amount of traffic it generates, and it wasn't enough for them. They might have a cutoff now.
I have no idea. Idea. But, you know, they said they were going to promote us and everything else. That's why we made the deal originally, and they never did shit for us. You know.
Yeah.
And I can't say that the stream gets that large an amount of people listening to it, but, you know, you can go listen to it, folks, by right now people are probably listening to us, and, well, maybe they're not as many. Let's see here.
Hey, when I had a prostate, I had
not
a stream at least every half hour.
They're not as many because a lot of people, I'm sure, went over to the TuneIn to listen to the program live. So that's where it's impacting us.
Yeah.
So
those rat bastards.
Well, I'd say if you're bothered by this, folks, write them a note. But the fact is, you aren't listening to us right now. So, you know,
they'll hear it on the rebroadcast.
But you can always go over to you can always hear it live over at GABNet. Okay, but you just can't hear it live on TuneIn anymore. Where else you can't hear us live anywhere else? Now that I think
YouTube.
Wait a minute.
Live stream.
Shout
I get on live stream.
Live stream? No, live stream doesn't have it live. No.
What about YouTube?
YouTube, we're live. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
you are.
But the 24/7 feed isn't. GABNet,
No.
the network isn't.
Right. But this live feed is.
How about Roku? But that's not.
Roku, you can get the if you have a Roku, you can get the 24/7 there. So that's one way.
But that's cumbersome, and you're got to be tied to your TV. So, like when I listen to it, it's always on my iPhone.
Yeah. You got a message, Alex, I think.
Where?
It was TuneIn
on your phone.
On my phone. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I saw it go blink.
Yeah, I heard boom. It was TuneIn.
Irv Jackson, heard you mention Damien's Skype sign-in problem. Just tried my personal Skype account and can't sign in either. We'll wait to get instructions from you. What do you mean? He could sign in. That wasn't a problem, Jack. That wasn't a problem at all.
You're being attacked, cyber attacked at GABNet.
First of all, you're trying to sign in while I'm using it.
He said his personal. Read it again.
Oh, his personal. Well, I don't know about your personal, but this one should work. And if it doesn't,
my Skype came right up.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
mine too.
Well, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong for Jack.
Poor Jack.
So I'm drinking tea tonight. In case you're wondering how my test came out, I haven't gotten the results yet.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I heard you say that to Bubble, so I assumed that that was today.
Yeah, well, that was recorded way earlier today. Usually, when I got the results before, it was like they post them about 4:30 in the afternoon the next day. And I have an appointment.
You want to feel good?
Wait a minute. I have an appointment.
They don't tell you bad news.
I have an appointment with the doctor tomorrow to review the results because I figured they'd be in today, but I may have to cancel my appointment if I don't get them by tomorrow. You know, before I'm supposed to go.
Well, wouldn't he get the results before you?
No, we both get the results at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Because I go to this place, Quest. You see, here in New York, I don't know if it's the same the rest of the country. They came up with some kind of new law that unless it's your yearly checkup, your doctor, if he orders up a blood test, can't take the blood himself.
Union?
So you have to go to a place like I go to Quest. Is the same thing in Texas for you?
Arizona.
Arizona.
I'm in Arizona.
What do you need? A longshoreman to take the blood?
No.
Your doctor can't do it. You got to go somewhere else.
You're kidding.
That's true.
No.
Yeah.
A phlebotomist is not a phlebotomist.
Except for your yearly checkup, in which case he can draw the blood. So anyway,
what's that all about?
I have no idea. So I have to go to this place called Quest, and they do it, and I have an account with them, and I can go right online and see my results as soon as they're posted. At the same time my doctor gets them.
We got Quest here too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But last time it took them only a day, and now it's. I just looked that they haven't posted them yet. So
1 week forklift rental is going to be. They're dropping it off in the morning. $1,000.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What do you need a forklift for?
Mine through a timing chain.
Well, he, as you know, he had his prostate removed, so he needs a forklift.
And my electric one needs a battery, and I just didn't do anything about it. It was just in the corner of the warehouse, and battery's like $4,000. So I quickly try to buy a battery today, and I can't get it as fast as I need the forklift. So I figured instead of renting one, I'd have I'd spend the $4,000, get a battery. But couldn't get a battery
sounds
today.
To me like
so
you're resenting putting out any more money for this company.
Oh, very much so. Because every dollar I put into it is a dollar I'm not getting back.
Yeah, and you've had no luck selling it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just going to have to run it. If I didn't run it, I wouldn't have a job. But if it's like. I look at the alternatives. I started looking at Florida, maybe, go there. I could buy a nice place for a couple $100,000. And, I looked in Indeed for the job prospects in Florida. And basically, you could be a Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
You can work like Dan Myers does on one of those, phone lines. There's nothing. I guess I'd have to be a salesman.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even be a greeter at Walmart. Okay, I'm too old for the job.
Oh no! If just tell them you're retarded or something, they'll hire you.
Oh really?
Yeah, they like old retarded. Yeah,
old retarded.
Yeah,
because retarded people smile a lot. Why?
Yeah, and he's got decent teeth, so maybe he can't qualify.
So we do have a place Tony can get a job.
Yeah, really. His teeth improved. I mean, you remember him 4 years ago?
No,
5 years ago?
His teeth have improved considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still doing it. He should.
No, he is. He's still got the braces and everything. But no, supposedly, I mean, I haven't seen them in person. I did see them in person before he got them done, and they were hideous.
Yeah, it was Snagglepuss.
Yeah, and I'm glad he did it. I think that,
Well, for health reasons, you need to do it. You can get bacteria and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's just better all the way around,
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you have a few crooked teeth, like I have crooked teeth here.
Yeah.
But what I did was I didn't, hello there, Ray. I never got them done because they were just right down here in front, and nobody notices that. So
sometimes they can grind it a little and
they did some kind of thing, putting veneers in there that kind of made them look straight. It's kind of like a movie set I've got in there.
Yeah. Yeah, veneers are nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Ray.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, hey, Richard Johansson is calling. Richard hasn't called in a while. Let's see if we... Come on.
Was that the guy from Thailand?
Huh?
Richard Johansson. Was that the guy from Thailand?
Yeah, but I don't know what the problem is here. I try to add him to the group, and I can't. Let me see here. Let me get rid of him. Let me try calling him. Okay, everybody, hold on for a second. Add to group call. Answering will put, I see, I should have gone there in the first place. Wait a minute, add to group call, but it won't do it. Huh, that's strange. Okay, well, anyway, we can't get it to work, okay? Richard, try again. But it doesn't look like he's online. That's strange. In fact, none of you look like, Charlie, it doesn't look like he's online. Ray doesn't look like he's online. You people are online. Huh.
Ray's on bike.
I don't know. This is interesting. All right. Well, anyway. Let me see here. I guess I'm having a little bit of problems tonight, too. Charles. There's Charles. There's Rob. There's a bunch of them.
Everybody came right on.
Yeah.
What would happen if?
It's just that none of you are green.
No, that's good. I'm white. I'm a deplorable.
Yeah.
Charlie's black.
Yeah.
He's not green.
But anyway, so I didn't get any results today. So, you know. So I'm going to have to call the doctor tomorrow. If I don't get him by tomorrow, like around noon, I'm going to have to call him and cancel the appointment and make it for the next day. So, you know.
Well,
but I'll tell you something that's really weird, okay? And something that bothered me this weekend. Marjorie, you know, with this gimpy leg, has taken a couple of falls.
it's easy to do.
Okay, she took one in the bathtub, but it didn't hurt. She did one where she banged her head on walking out the door of the apartment, and fell down and banged her head.
Is she still using a crutch or a cane?
She still got it. Well, she can walk around with just the splint if she has to. But yeah. I tell her, use the cane anyway when you're out. Not when you're here, but when you're out. But anyway, so she fell, hit her head, and then all of a sudden she started getting these massive headaches, and started throwing up like crazy. And that bothered me.
Concussion. Yeah.
Sounds like
that happened to me. That's concussion.
Yeah. She's better today now.
Good.
So
when you hit her, did you use your hand or a club?
Always use an open fist. Anyway, because that way there aren't any marks. And
use a phone book. You should be a cop.
Okay,
you take the phone book and then you beat them.
Let's see
you have
what
to do
happens.
it Italian style.
You know something? I can't add Richard Johansson for some strange, unexplainable reason.
Homeland Security, huh?
Let me see here. Let me see what I can do.
Build the wall.
Let me try to add him to
Built
the
the
group.
wall around the citizen
group.
panel. He can't get in.
Answer this video. I answered it. You got some kind of problem, Richard. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let me see here. Did I lose everybody? No. And I'm having trouble adding. Oh boy. There we go. Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. I got him.
Kevin.
And now Richard Johansson. I got a problem with Richard. How do I get him into the group? That's the problem. No.
Collect the $10 fee.
No idea. No idea.
Did you hear there were all kinds of terrorists and drug kingpins flooding North Dakota?
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Right through the,
Where they get
the
lost.
logging roads.
They get lost looking for California.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess
Need a wall up there.
I don't know if I have the strength to get into this kind of discussion. By the way, I think we did get a lot of people listening using. Tune in. Nah, we're about where we usually are with the audio feeds.
Can we ask Kevin if his absence was due to another operation?
No. I've been out with my mom's been in the hospital since a couple days before New Year's.
I just assumed they permanently implanted that shocker.
No, that's coming. Probably next month. The experiment kind of went funky.
Really?
Yeah, the last couple days it slipped down the vertebrae, a couple vertebrae.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they had to readjust the programming on it, but
the Flabberhammer.
So what happened? It slipped down. You pressed the button and you had to pee instead of get rid of the pain.
Well, now I'm trying to add SG and I can't.
No, it actually kind of bummed me out because it was working pretty good, and then it slipped down, and they had to readjust the programming on it. And then when they did that, they wanted me to stay on it another 3 or 4 days, but the timing was wrong with New Year's and the doctors, and so they yanked it out the day before New Year's, I guess it was, and it should have stayed in a couple more days, but it seemed to work. The more I took it out, the more I felt like it was working.
Okay.
The more it was out. So.
Well, I can't. I'm trying to add SG to the show, and I can't do it.
Maybe they're using a previous show or something. Maybe they're using the.
No, I think there's some problem tonight. Answering this call puts you in a hold, but I can't get this to Like, says add to group call, but I can't. I click it and nothing happens. Let me see here.
Maybe you can't add him because he's using a previous, like Kevin said.
If I call him, let me see what happens. No.
You can go off from us and talk to him because, if there's no tune in, nobody's listening anyway.
Well, no. Stop it. Add group to call. There we go. This time I got it. And let's see if he answers. He's got to answer. Are you there, SG? No, he's not there. See, he had to answer, but he didn't.
Like fly fishing, you keep throwing the line out.
Yeah. Well,
there he is.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Here. Wait a minute. Well, he's rolling around, but he's there. He is. Okay.
You have your audio on, SG, the feed.
No, I don't think he does.
Hiding behind the wall.
Yeah. Are you there, SG? Can you hear us? Huh? Can you? Hello? Can you hear us, SG? I don't know. He got some kind of...
I hear the audio behind him.
No, I don't think that's audio behind him. I think his mic's not working.
His mic's not working? You can hear us? Can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Oh, scratchy.
Talk to us.
I just heard myself. I just heard myself on his feed.
Yeah, that's why I think his feed is on, and he doesn't hear us on a timely basis.
Well, we're not gonna,
loser.
I'll tell you, we can't go through this.
I hear an echo.
I can't spend the whole time just doing that. I don't know what the problem is tonight with some callers calling, but I don't know. I give up. So
maybe the whole Skype thing just didn't boot up right. You have to start over.
Huh?
No, it's more that it happened to Damien. He was having trouble.
Yeah, and Irv was having issues with his personal site.
Oh,
okay.
The Skype gods are out tonight. They're all pissed off. Yeah. The government's been shut down too long.
Yeah, maybe it's all the Skype government workers are revolting.
Maybe because the government shut down, the NSA is experiencing problems, slowing down all communications.
Okay, let's hear. Let's see if he comes back up again. Well, this makes great programming, doesn't it? You fucking Skype piece of shit.
There he is.
Are you there, SG? Can you hear us?
The same problem.
Can you hear us?
Same thing.
You can hear us by holding your thumb up, but would you say something?
Does your mic work,
SG? He needs to log into the Skype call testing service and make sure everything works.
Yeah, do that for us, would you? Okay, that's it. I'm through playing that game.
If you have trouble, log into, it's on everybody's Skype. It's the Skype call testing service where you can test, hear yourself come back to you, know that you hear the British lady, and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah, the English lady doesn't like me.
Skype testing service.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of those English accents.
Yeah.
I've put it on my Google Home. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. It just feels more sophisticated.
I did that with Siri for a while, and then I did
it with Siri. Yeah.
Siri got too full of herself, and I had to back her back down to a deplorable American.
Well, I'm sure
she's kind of full of herself, isn't she?
I'm sure.
When she's British, she's too full of herself.
I'm sure everybody will be bothered because so far we have not said one word about the president's 8 minutes tonight on national television.
Yeah, and it was a good speech. And you know what? You guys,
come on,
all you guys are responsible for that speech. And I'll tell you why.
When you're not talking, Ray, put yourself on mute.
Sorry.
Because you're right over an air conditioner or whatever. Yeah,
it's his machine.
Yeah.
See, what's happening is for months we got on Trump about the children in cages and the inhumane treatment and the separation. Now he wants the money to fix it. He wants more beds. He wants more judges. He wants to handle these things quickly, and he wants a wall so he can channel these people.
I thought, Phil, that he made a brilliant case for his side tonight, and he changed my opinion about the wall.
Yeah. Well, now I don't want the wall.
Bullshit.
I want an iron. I want an iron.
Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
I want an iron curtain.
I think we should have a force field. You know,
a force field,
like a,
right?
I like that.
Yeah. That's what you got out of that speech tonight, Phil?
Yeah, I got the fact that he's been pushed into a corner by the liberals and the media, and all of,
he has danced himself. He has danced himself.
And so now
wait a minute,
he's doing what you want.
He danced himself into that corner.
Yeah.
So it worked.
No, he wasn't going dancing with the stars. He was grabbing them by the pussy. But what he's doing is exactly what you guys asked for.
Phil, I don't believe a word of what you're saying.
Oh,
I don't believe you believe a word of what you're saying.
I don't think
Phil.
you believe it either, Phil. You just figure out, how am I going to parse this thing tonight so that I can be on Trump's side?
Well,
just like Hannity and just like Laura.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. on the 15th. And, maybe Trump will have audience with me and I can, explain to him the good points,
I'm sure if you lobby hard enough, there aren't that many clamoring to get in there. You might be able to get in there.
You could probably be his new chief of staff. Yeah.
He's still looking for it.
And I wouldn't need a forklift for that.
Right, exactly.
He's not the most popular guy in Washington right now.
I said to girlfriend before we started watching it, let's see how many times he lies tonight. And I think in the first minute, every word that came out of his mouth, I was going, lie, lie, lie.
Wait a minute. Didn't he fact check him?
Oh, yeah, he got ripped apart.
Really?
He is so wrong.
He was putting out a bunch of statistics. Where did he get it from?
Well, I don't know. Out of his ass, I guess.
Bathroom wall.
I don't think so.
Or out of whatever pussy he was grabbing.
He was reading a script, and somebody wrote that script. And gave him those statistics. So where did they come from? He didn't make them up.
We have no idea where they came from.
Somebody wanted to sabotage
But for
his
instance,
ass.
he went around saying there was something like 30,000 people stopped at the border in the first half of last year.
I thought
who were on the what do you call it list, on the watch list. Well, they went back and fact checked that. Do you know how many it was in 6 months? Phil?
6.
It was 8.
8.
8 people.
Well, it's a start.
It's a few zeros.
Yeah, but that is hardly what we would call an emergency.
Yeah. Well, you guys made the emergency by saying, "Hey, this is inhumane treatment. This is
an emergency."
Here comes SG again,
and that's why he's trying to get rid of that.
Let's see here. Is he? Oh,
and
yes, and it connected him too. Now let's see if the Marcel Marceau of GABNet can actually hear us. Can you hear us, SG? Okay.
No, he's got the same exact problem.
Same thing.
Give up for tonight, SG. We can't.
There's Skype problems.
Yeah.
So you want to hear the fact checking of Trump?
Sure.
Now, who fact checked this?
This is ABC.
Yeah.
Okay. Every day, this is Trump. Every day, thousands of illegal immigrants attempt to enter the country at the southern border. This is the fact. In 2001, there were 1.6 million illegal crossings. Last year, the number was 361,000. Trump. Our southern border is a pipeline for vast quantities of illegal drugs, including meth, heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl. 300 citizens are killed by heroin alone, 90% of which floods across our southern border. Fact. This is true. According to the DEA, 2018 drug threat assessment, the southwest border is where large amounts of drugs enter the U.S. But it's important to note that those drugs largely come in through legal points of entry. A border wall won't fix that. Trump, the border wall would very quickly pay for itself through the trade deal we have with Mexico. Fact, there is nothing in the new trade deal that puts funds for a border wall. Congress must appropriate funding.
And also, you should add to that, there is no deal with Mexico yet. And he acted like it already existed.
I mean, this goes on and on and on. So once again, Trump, I can go on and then keep reading these, but and the other one was, at the request of the Democrats, it will be a steel barrier rather than a concrete wall. This barrier is absolutely critical to border security. Pelosi spokesman Drew Hamill says this claim from the president is false. The Democrats aren't calling for a steel wall or a concrete wall or any kind of wall. Trump just, making stuff up as he goes along. There are plenty of fact-checking mistakes that Mr. Trump
How do you feel, Phil, about the fact that he makes so many mistakes?
They're not mistakes, though. They're lies.
Lies.
No, they're alternative facts.
I like it.
I don't understand how you could like that. Truly, I don't understand how you could like that.
Look, he's trying to make his point. Somebody gave him these statistics.
But
he
they're
didn't make them up.
And understood.
No, you can mold statistics any way you want. You can try to defeat a statistic very, very easily. One time somebody said 100% of all pregnant women drink water.
Let's not call these
syllogistic reasoning.
Let's not. The thing that things that Rob was mentioning weren't statistics; they were facts.
Yeah. Well, then it's a fact that all of these drugs are pouring in, and we need a wall.
No, but they're pouring in. Didn't you hear the important part of that? Yes, they're flowing in from the south of the border, but they're flowing in through our ports of entry.
That's because there's fences on the sides of the ports of entry.
But they're coming in cars. They're coming in through airplanes, all kinds of methods. And
do you think it's good that when they come in from non-ports of entry that they die in the desert, and that the children suffer that are brought over?
Well, hey, if our president feels that's okay, I'm okay with it.
Well, that's why he wants a wall. He wants to be able to control that and put beds in and have more judges. And,
you don't think he wants a wall because he's trying to play to his base? He wants to spend $5 billion of your money.
Let me explain something.
That's just
Phil.
this year.
Phil, listen to us for a second.
$45 billion.
Let me listen to us for a second. You say that he wants more judges, right?
Right.
He's a lying sack of shit because this close down of the government has closed down all the immigration hearings.
Yes. Yep. But if you give him what he wants, the government will reopen,
then we'll have
and you'll get all your immigration hearings.
But in other words, he's stifling immigration now. He's ruining TSA's ability to stop things from coming into this country or terrorists from coming in.
If there's a disaster right now, if there's an airline disaster right now because something gets through, he's going to really take a hit.
Hey, I'm going to be flying next week.
I'm flying in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and
I want to say how much it's been nice knowing you guys.
Yeah, and, I got a 5:40 a.m. flight, and so out of San Francisco. So that means I'm going to get there at like 3:30 in the morning to get through TSA. And, I've got global entry and all of that. TSA.
I got that crap too, but those lines are just as long now as the other lines.
Yeah, but the air traffic controllers are getting real tired and real pissed off.
Yes, they are.
By the way, who is this calling us?
Hey, this is Jack Dishman. I had to get in on this, even though I can't get my Skype to work. We had an effective program for 20 years in this country. But nobody remembers it because none of you guys apparently ever read any history. Ever heard of the Bracero program? Anybody on this panel ever heard of the Bracero program?
I heard the name.
Please don't insult my citizen panel.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Well, the thing is, you know, the old saying about if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it or make mistakes. The Bracero program was a guest worker program that we had from the early 40s to the mid-60s, where people from the Latin American countries could register, come to work here, make some money, go home, come back.
Jack, Bush wanted that, and they shot it down.
Right, because they're a bunch of dumbass sons of bitches.
It wasn't the Republicans that shot it down.
No, listen. First of all, there's about 2 cents worth of difference between these two major parties, and you and I both know that.
Hey,
don't we, Phil?
Hey, come on. Come on. You had that heart. You had that heart operated on. Don't destroy the good work a doctor did with this conversation.
Yeah, there's no difference.
I'd rather burn up than rust out. But look, but let's be serious. You know, you got one party with no new ideas and one party with no good ideas. You pick whichever one you think that falls in line with. But we had this program that worked for 20 years. You know why we got rid of it?
No, why?
Real simple. Really, really simple. Because American companies couldn't figure out how to steal the Social Security money that these people were putting in to the Social Security system. Money that they were never able to get out. So you had thousands and thousands of people working in this country under guest workership rules, paying money into Social Security. Not a one of them has ever got a penny out of it.
Well, you know, they use a lot of social services when...
hey, the truth is our illegal aliens use less social services than anybody because they're trying to stay under the radar, just like we black folks did when we ran off.
Yeah,
hey, that's a damn lie, Phil. Check it. Show me the facts. Show me the facts. Show me the numbers.
Okay, the governor said today he wants to make the whole state a sanctuary state. You know, he wants to take all the Medi-Cal and the unions and everybody and put them into a single-payer health care. These are Gavin Newsom's words today.
Bravo
and that's the way it should be all across the country.
And how did that work for Venezuela? How did that
because they didn't have guys like you working with guys like me, keeping an eye on each other, working together, fighting it out.
You're never going to have guys like you.
And why do you suddenly want to compare?
Yes, we can. All we've got to do is agree on goals and then figure out how we're going to meet those goals. You've got something to give. I've got something to give. All we've got to do is when we can't decide, is flip the damn coin and go on.
Trump said today he could fix it in 45 minutes if the other
yeah. In other words, if they capitulate, he can fix it, right?
And they want to capitulate.
Well, damn right. It's a game. And you grind each other down.
The people
you grind each. You know, Harry Truman said, whenever people on the other side of the fence want me to be bipartisan, that means they want me to give up what I want.
That's right.
And that's true still today.
That's right.
Now, if you can't decide, maybe we just flip a coin and go to hell on like God intended.
Yeah. Did Pelosi look in her rebuttal speech? Did she look dead, or that she was a hand puppet?
Why?
If anybody looked like they were dead, it was the president.
Yeah, he looked so like beat down that he had to read the teleprompter.
He always reads the teleprompter. It looks like Ray wants to say something.
Then he reads badly. Yes, Ray.
Don't forget that Trump had agreed, and they had reached an agreement until he listened to Ann Coulter on Fox and changed his mind. Okay, don't forget about that.
And Hannity's, and smartly so.
Smartly?
Oh, geez,
yeah,
Phil. Now I know you're kidding.
You realize what happened?
Now I know you're kidding. How many here, raise your hand, think Phil has been putting this on?
Hey, do you know what would have happened to Trump if he would have taken the first deal? It would have been all over. He would have been
Look. Everybody knew he wasn't going to take the first deal. Everybody knows this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. But there's no need to shut down the government while we're fighting. If we can't do two things at once, then we don't deserve.
You cannot believe Pelosi and Schumer will negotiate the wall in good faith.
It doesn't have to be in good faith. They get, but listen, what's this good faith bullshit? That is bullshit.
Hold on a second. Let me, just both of you.
Well, you know why?
Both of you, hold it. I want to talk. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
What has been proposed as a stopgap on this thing is that the wall discussion be separated from the appropriations.
Yep.
And that the two are separate issues and should be dealt with separately, and that the Democrats will negotiate in fairness once we get the government working again. But that the the two programs, it should not be part of the discussion at this point.
That's the way it's always been.
Well, don't you want to see?
That's not true, Phil. That's not true. The way it's always been is we would come to a temporary agreement to fund the government while the negotiating process was going on.
Pork is?
Yeah, right. And that's part of the American tradition,
well, okay,
and that's what everybody wants. That's part of the American tradition, and that's what every part of the country wants from their congressperson, from their senator. Bring something home for me.
Our president is giving it to the people that voted for them.
Yeah,
38%. So 38% of the country now is going to rule over the country.
It's the electoral college that
elects. 38% of the people are on Donald Trump's side.
Well, then move. You better move to some state.
No. Let's be like good parents do when they can't run the house. What do? They get a divorce and they go on their separate damn ways.
Well.
You've got, and speaking about the Electoral College, a Republican senator last Friday, or maybe Thursday, introduced a bill to do away with the Electoral College.
Was that called Romney?
Nobody has yet to pronounce, by the way, nobody's yet to pronounce that correctly. It's the Electoral College.
That's right. I know I screwed it up as soon as I said it.
And Phil never gets it right. That, and he never gets statistic right either. It's statistic.
That's sadistic to me.
But that measure has been introduced by a Republican senator.
Hey, there's a bunch of moron Republican senators out there.
Now, why do we realize that we're at a point in this country where trying to stay together as one nation doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense?
I say grab your muskets and
no, we don't have to grab our. No, we don't have to do that. That's called a revolution. I'm talking separation.
Yeah, like Brexit.
Well, California's getting ready to separate.
Texas is the only state. Texas is the only state that had in its admission to the United States a provision that it could separate.
Yeah.
They should just let it go.
Yeah.
I've come to the opinion
help you with the Electoral College.
I've come to the opinion that the South won the Civil War. If you look at the way the country is today,
no, this is just another Civil War, and it is. A civil war.
What it is, it's a family. What it is, it's, huh?
Look at everybody's tempers. Look at the media. Look at how everybody is separated. You don't think
that is probably listen. That is probably a good thing because we've reached that point.
You don't think
we have reached that point?
North and South all over again?
Nah.
What do they call it?
It's much more complex than that. Much more complex than that.
I don't think so. We're the deplorables,
Deplorables. I give it either the deplorables or the impossibles.
Yeah.
Look, do you really want to deal with raving crazies like me and Alex running the government or having some influence in the government? No, you don't.
When I want this country to go down in flames like Venezuela, then you and Alex.
Will you stop with the fucking Venezuela? How does that?
It only took 10 years of socialism to turn.
We don't talk about socialism. What about Norway, Denmark, Sweden, countries like that?
Yeah. They've been around for quite a while. Don't talk about countries in which you had a socialistic government. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Phil. A socialistic government run by a morally corrupt human being. That's a different story altogether. But you're right. Norway, Sweden, France, England, all those are socialistic countries.
Yeah. So get your yellow jacket, or vest. And,
I got a friend who works for CNN in Great Britain. He's an American. He's been there maybe 10 years now. He just resigned from CNN. He's coming back, going to live in Los Angeles. And I said, why? And he said, oh, since Brexit, man, Great Britain is a mess. It's just a mess. I'm leaving.
Didn't May lose an integral vote today over Brexit?
The word is integral.
Yeah, by 6 votes, I think. So they're split. And the party that is in favor of not doing Brexit was the one that won that vote. So they've weakened May's government and her position even more.
By the way,
that situation is even more complex in that you've got Ireland wanting to stay in the EU, Scotland wanting to stay in the EU, and to separate from the United Kingdom.
Sounds like Gulliver's Travels all over again.
I don't get that.
Now a word from our sponsor. A word from our sponsor. It's a new sponsor that has a new product called the Phil to English Dictionary.
You know, I could get one of those things on Google that you speak into it and then it translates.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you say nuclear?
Have never been able to say that right.
Nuclear?
Yeah.
Never been able to say it
Neither
right.
was George Bush.
Well, you know, as a radio announcer, you are a custodian of the English language. You should care about whether you pronounce that correctly or not.
He plays music.
Well, wait a minute. I did more in my career than play music. Yeah. I always did talk at some station. As you know, I did a TV interview program for 10 years. But there's there's a thing called dialects, and they're regional dialects, and there are 7 of them. And there are many parts of the country where the way they say things in that part of the world is different than the way they say things in this other part of the world.
You see, the thing is, with a word like nuclear, it is so simple to say it properly. It's nuclear.
Alex, I have struggled with that throughout my entire career. So I usually try to stay away from saying it by just saying atomic weapons.
Big boom boom.
It's
boom boom.
It's nuclear, right? Nuclear.
No, nuclear. 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 Now you're getting me all mixed up.
All right. A good example is this. There are 3 words that, for most people in certain parts of the country, they can say 3 different ways. The words are M-A-R-Y, M-A-R-R-Y, and M-E-R-R-Y.
Mary.
Southerners can make all 3 of those distinctions. Most folks from the West Coast can't.
You know what else I've noticed, Jack? That people on the West Coast say often, and people on the East Coast say often.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm from the East Coast. I don't remember often.
No.
Yeah, like Philadelphia. It's a silent. Area. I hear it all the time.
It's a silent T everywhere in the United States except out of your mouth.
No, I don't use the T. Another word that doesn't exist.
Here's one that differs. Oh man, I'm getting lightheaded now. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Pronounce this for me. R-O-O-F.
Roof.
Rob?
Roof, yeah.
Roof.
How about you,
Roof.
Ray?
Roof. No.
No, wait a minute. Well, what was roof is how I say it. Some parts of the country it's roof. I mean, there's no proper way of doing it.
I think that's the way Dalmatians say it too. Roof.
Alex, I think roof is a
well, that reminds me of the oldest joke my father ever taught me.
Yeah, what's that?
Guy goes into a bar with a dog. He says, this dog can talk, and if you give me a free drink, I'll have him talk if you give me a free drink. And he goes, so they go, okay, well, let's see your goddamn dog talk. And he says, okay, what's on top of a house? And the dog goes, roof. And the guy goes, I'm sorry, I can't give you a drink for that. That's the way a dog barks. He goes, roof. He says, okay, let me just try it one more time, and I'll prove to you he can talk. He says, what does sandpaper feel like? And the dog goes, ruff, ruff. And the guy goes, just take your fucking dog and get out of here. He said, well, wait a minute, one more. Give me one more chance. And the bartender goes, okay, one more chance, but then you're out of here. And he says, who is the greatest baseball player of all time? And the dog goes, Ruth, Ruth. And the bartender picks both of them up and throws them out the front door of the bar. And as they're sitting there on the curb, the dog looks over at the guy and goes, why, was it DiMaggio?
All right, so she did that one. I'll tell you the story that my dad told me when I was a boy.
Yeah.
It was about the zebra that ran off from the zoo. And the zebra walked upon a farm. And he saw this animal, and he walked up to the animal and said, what are you? And what do you do here on the farm? And the animal said, well, I'm a chicken, and I lay eggs here on the farm for the farmer. He walked over to another animal that kind of looked like him, and he said, and what are you, and what do you do here on the farm? And the animal said, I'm a horse, and I plow here on the farm for the farmer. And he walked on, and he saw this, out in this field, this big, shiny, slick animal with horns. And he trotted up to the animal and said, hey, I'm a zebra, and what are you? And the animal said, well, I'm a bull, and if you drop those striped pajamas, I'll show you what the hell I do here on the farm.
Richard Johansson is writing me and saying, hey, Alex, can you see my chat? Yes. I can see your chat. So what's your problem with your Skype?
Well, I went to when I heard you talking about Damien, I decided I would check my personal Skype to see if I could just get into Skype. I get this message that says, seeing as how your Skype has not been updated in a long, long time, unless you update now, you cannot get in.
Really?
That's what it said.
Really?
Now I'm going to take Mr. Bennett's advice, and I'm going to wait here for another 32 minutes to see if I can get in.
Look, since you don't need the old one like I do. What
do you mean don't need the old one like you do?
You're not on video.
You don't use video. So what I'm saying is you could probably just convert to the new one. But I don't know.
But can you just click on it like we have been doing, and the calls get added?
Because this had this he had that problem. I tried turning mine off. Mine's on what do you call it?
Classic.
It's on classic, but it turned it off and then turned it back on, and it was fine. You know, it didn't ask me for that. It asked me, do I want to upgrade? But I tell it no. You know, but
well, I don't even get a no. I get either update or quit.
You know, you could probably install the new one, and if it doesn't work for you, you can maybe reinstall the old one. Alex is always saying that he's able to reinstall.
Well, that's what. Well, when it didn't work 6 months ago, I got the old one reinstalled, and that's what I've been using since we first had problems with the new Skype. Skype evil.
Hey, Jack.
Skype evil.
I don't get that message, and I have the old one. It's kind of weird. I have Windows too.
You have Windows too?
Well, this is on a Windows machine. Mine is on a Windows machine. I've got the 7.115 or something edition.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe it's your version of Windows. Maybe it's your version of Windows. You've got Windows 2. I never heard of it.
I've got Windows 8. I mean, no, I got Windows 10. I got Windows 10 on this machine.
Windows 10.
So it's time you got a Mac.
There you go.
Well,
I'm not allowed to have a Mac.
Why are you not?
Then a pimp.
Why are you not allowed to have a Mac?
Because my computer guy doesn't like Mac. My wife doesn't like Mac. My stepson, who used to buy computers for the company that he works for, doesn't like Mac. So they told me, you can't have a Mac, you Luddite.
Do you know what the Mac does do though? It will play the old Skype without giving you a bad time about having to sign up.
Macs just work. You don't need.
I know. I know.
I
have tried Macs. I've used them at work. I like Macs, but I don't. But I want to keep happiness in my home. I like snuggling up to Mama when I get through doing this broadcast.
Just get a second. Get a CPU like Alex did with the Mac Mini.
Yeah.
Just a basic Mac Mini is all you need, really.
Yeah.
Well, I'll consider that.
Well, I mean, it could be. It could be. I didn't completely stop my my Skype, which I'll try later. But I didn't stop my Skype, and but I signed out from Skype, and well,
that was the mistake I think I made over the weekend. I signed out of Skype.
Well, I mean, I'm going to do it and see what happens, and if it fucks up, then I just won't do shows anymore. I mean, I can't work with that new Skype. I'm sorry, it just looks terrible.
Since Bree is is into technology, maybe he knows what's going on with this Skype and the new and the old. Do you get into that at all? No.
No.
You're muted.
I saw a thing about some other.
Wait. You're muted. You're muted, Bree.
I was calling in, Jack. It doesn't work on this phone. It's just, I don't know. The audio is bad. It's just difficult to listen to when he gets upset and starts yelling on the phone. I don't know.
Well, it's difficult to listen whenever Jack is talking.
Oh, stop it, Phil.
I'm a deeply emotional man. I am passionate about my issues.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe what you should do is probably hang up and go install the new one so you can have a show tonight.
Well, let's see what happens. I'll do that, and we'll have a show. If not, we'll have a repeat or something.
Yeah.
Okay?
And Alex can send you some of that gabapentin,
Oh, I've got gabapentin.
Yeah.
I've even got some Quaaludes if I look around here.
Really? Send them this way.
Yeah, but they're probably stale. Okay, bye-bye. Boy, I don't know. I'm going to have to turn mine off completely and see what happens, It should have probably sent me a notification. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the story is? Look, people are working out.
There must be a mirror. Yeah, that must be the mirror
I've never been able to do that. Like, I can't be a hamster on a wheel. Like, there's a marina here where I can go walking or ride my bike. If I'm going somewhere or if I'm accomplishing something, I can do it. But I can't sit and, do these exercises on these machines with lots of other people around. To me, it's just too weird.
Yeah,
I can only do it when I'm on GABNet. Otherwise, it's just really weird.
Wow. Well, anyway.
I'm kidding.
I'm just wondering if when I sign off tonight, I'm going to turn off my Skype completely and then reboot it and see what happens. It may give me a bad time.
To the new one.
How about you, Rob? Are you using the new Skype?
Yeah, I've been using it for a long time, and I'm on a Mac, so.
Yeah. Well, on a Mac, I don't even have to. I can use anything I want to, but
I kind of got used to the new Mac, and I like it. I mean, the new Skype, and it's the quality is good.
Yeah. But for me, it's too much.
He needs to be able to put everybody in an equal.
Yeah, you don't like the bubbles, right?
I don't like the bubbles, and if I could put as many people as I wanted to on the screen at a time, but you can only do 4 at a time.
I thought you liked Larry.
Right.
What?
You can only do 4 at a time, and everybody else is a bubble.
He says he doesn't like the bubbles.
The bubbles.
I watched that Netflix, that Amazon Prime special about Bubbles and
Standing.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the one that Jason recommended Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're in it actually, Alex.
Yes, I am.
What's it called? I want to see it.
It's called Three
Still Standing.
Three Still Standing, yeah.
Yeah. I think they used me in a clip from Comedy Tonight, right? Something like that.
Yeah, you introduce what you do is you say it was a comedy competition, and you announce the winner.
Do you get a check for that?
No, I didn't even get anybody ask me permission.
But you get a thank you in it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
At the end, your name is mentioned.
Oh, okay. All right. I forgot about that. It's been so long since I saw it, you know.
Alex, you got to go to the union. Take care of that.
Yeah, credit doesn't pay the bills.
You got to go to the union. Take care of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure this production was SAG associated, you know.
Is Netflix not a union show?
Not Netflix. It's Amazon Prime.
And Bezos doesn't have to.
Is it Amazon Prime that was on? Okay.
It's Amazon Prime, yeah.
So he's special.
Yeah, and it's an independent production. They just bought the rights to use it, you know.
Right.
Or for all we know, they gave them the rights to use it because.
Oh, yeah, it's a distribution.
Yeah, a lot of these.
I just negotiate Prime for life.
Yeah, just tell them you want free Prime.
Free shipping for life, goddammit.
Oh boy, my throat is in such bad shape. Anyway, so we've got so Trump took money, took time out for people. I noticed that Jack Bishop is online now, so it looks like he's probably able to use his whatever.
Not necessarily, because you had SG and a few others call you that were online and they couldn't get through.
Yeah, but the SG's problem was he couldn't hear us, or he couldn't.
Yeah, that was his computer.
That was him.
Yeah, he had a very poor connection.
Richard Johansson, that one I can't figure out. Okay, he was the only true problem we had tonight. You know.
Yeah.
But SG just, you know, and I couldn't keep going to the phone and having him not talk. You know. Not be able to talk and then spend time trying to fix that problem for him, you know.
Well, I didn't hear Damien's issues, but you know, he's smart enough that he can figure it out.
Damien's issue was that the program updated itself without him asking.
Oh,
see, that was the problem.
Why would that be an issue on his show?
Because all of a sudden he went on the air tonight and he had a different Skype than he had when he last used it.
Oh.
You know, so that's the problem. You know, but it just automatically updated itself.
You know, on Windows, there's a Skype that's part of Windows, and if you have automatic update on, that's what it'll do. That's what happened to me. I had to turn it off and then reinstall the old one.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading today that on these Google phones that Facebook is an application that you cannot remove.
On Google phones.
They're in everything.
Well, whatever uses their operating system. I don't know what the name of that operating system is.
Well, that would be Google.
Android.
Android.
No, was it Samsung? What does Samsung use?
Android.
So now the Facebook application.
I think you're talking about the Google application because Facebook and Google are not the same company.
No, I know, but what I read today was that the Facebook application on those, it's not the iPhone, it's the other one. That the Facebook application is a icon and a program that comes on the phone and you cannot remove it.
I think you're right because I had an Android briefly about a year ago, and I don't use Facebook, and I was like, how do I get this crap off here? And I couldn't.
Oh. So it's not that new. I thought it was new, that it just occurred.
No.
Yeah, that was I don't know what the argument would be against that. I guess the same argument they used when, well, no, because it isn't it's Google's Android system and it's Facebook, and they have no synergy as companies. They aren't owned by the same people, so you can't make the same argument you could where with Microsoft they were complaining about Explorer. Remember being
right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember where I read it, but I read it today. And yeah, so
why are we off of TuneIn?
We're not on TuneIn anymore. Didn't hear
he
that.
He didn't pay the money.
Just reading the news now.
They canceled us.
They didn't get their big.
That's ridiculous.
I have no idea. They sent me a letter saying that they were. This is to inform you that our agreement is being stopped or whatever. But the agreement that I had with them was to be a TuneIn partner, but I assumed that the program was still going to be on their system.
All right, I'm checking.
All of a sudden, no, it's not. Don't even try. It's not there.
Oh. Yeah. Well, then I can't go into random malls and tell their machines to tune into you.
Well, you can do it by oh, gee, you can't. Actually, I'm gonna have to take that off my the Facebook page about to say to Alexa, go to TuneIn. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that tonight.
So yeah, this I just Googled it and it says, why can't I completely uninstall Facebook Android Forum? It's 6 months old, 7 months old. That you can't uninstall it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a pre-installed app.
Wow.
Probably Facebook probably paid them.
Yeah. You know, I put everything on my phone into icons like stuff I buy, financial, travel. And then I've got an icon on the last page, so it's the only one on that page, and it's called shit I'll never use. And so the stuff I can't delete, I drag over into the icon shit I'll never use.
Yeah.
Well, there are certain things with Apple that are there on the phone. I'm trying to remember what some of them are.
It's some sort of a GarageBand, Find Friends, iTunes University.
Yeah.
Numbers, pages, health, tips, playbooks, keynote, and clips. So that shit I'll never use.
Yeah, and you can't get rid of it.
Right.
Yeah, I hate the fact. I hate bloatware. You know, stuff you can't get rid of. And I have this phone called a Hisense Pro A2 Pro. It has an e-reader on one side, and then it has the regular on the other. And this replaced my Yoda phone 2 when that broke, although I'm fixing that one. And this one has Chinese bloatware plus Google bloatware.
Uh-huh.
It's like when you buy a PC from one of the big companies. Any big company, you're going to get all kinds of, those trial softwares, all that bloatware. All it does is slow your computer down. I never bought a new PC without reinstalling Windows first thing out of the box.
Right.
I bought a laptop for my mom once, and it had I want to say a couple of gigs on it. Didn't need much, just needed some email and let her surf the web. But that goddamn thing was already just about loaded to the gills with all the shit.
Right.
And you wanted to load just something, one application on it, and you couldn't.
And everything, when you boot up a Windows machine, all of those drivers, all of those DLL files, all load up when you reboot that computer. They're all running in memory, and they're eating up your memory, even though you're not running the program.
And you even had to update Windows, and it couldn't do that.
I bought really fast Windows machines for the office, and I have an SSD drive and lots of memory and all that stuff. And when I first got it 6-7 months ago, you clicked it on, and the thing was blazing fast. Now it's like you type, and 2 seconds later, the letters come up on the thing you typed. So I don't know what to do with this thing.
Reinstall Windows.
Windows, you should probably reinstall wipe and reinstall once a year because it
That's what
just
I
gets
used
full
to
of
do.
crap.
And now, and on the other side of that, I've had this Mac now for 3.5, 4 years. There's no bloatware on it.
Yeah.
And you never touch it. It does the updates, and when it's done, it just runs the way it always ran. It never gets slower over time. You can't beat a Mac.
I've had mine
It's a real-
for 4
it's
or
Linux.
5 years.
It's a real-
I hardly even shut it off.
Yeah, I never
It's a real
shut it
operating
off.
system. Yeah, it's a real operating system. Windows is a kludge, always has been.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass.
So it's a bunch of Band-Aids. But they said on that Facebook thing, just to finish that topic, that the reason that they want to take it off the Android phones is that it deletes battery life faster than if you don't have it. So if you don't have it on that phone, the batteries last longer.
That's kind of hard to believe because you can, on your Android phone, you can go and see what programs are running and close them. So if the program's not running just because it's installed, I don't know how it's eating your battery.
That's what this forum said. Maybe they're full of shit.
Yeah, they're full of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I
can see if you open it and you leave it open.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's looking for, it's using its GPS to track where it is, and all that other crap. So if you leave it open, I could see that. But if you never open it, it's not open. The program's not running.
Yeah.
By the way, I just got a note from somebody else. You don't know him, but another person I know has cancer.
No.
Just, never stops.
No, it doesn't.
My sister-in-law died of a heart attack today.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Boy.
My condolences.
Isn't this a special night here? How old is your sister-in-law?
She was like 62.
I'll be 62 next week.
Was she overweight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she smoked.
Oh.
And she lives in France.
Oh.
And no underpants.
There's too much cheese. Yeah, no underpants. She wasn't wearing her underpants. No, that's terrible.
In France.
Well, actually, it's my wife's brother's first wife, but I was closer to her than I was her his second
I
wife.
thought the French had less heart disease because of their diet than
They do.
Other people.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do.
Bree has
Overall. People still have heart attacks.
Bree has his hand up. Bree?
Alex, since I tuned in late, did you talk about, speaking of France, the French director who said that he can't look at any woman over 50?
Why?
Because he prefers young women.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he should meet R.
Especially
He should meet R. Kelly.
Japanese. Did you? Yeah.
He should meet R.
This
Kelly.
one was a director. It was in, I think, Vanity Fair, France, or something.
Yeah.
It was trending for a while yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Me too, his ass.
Did anybody see this 5-part documentary on R. Kelly?
No.
I was
No, I haven't seen it,
riveted.
but heard
He is being charged.
I was riveted to it. Charlie, did you see it? You seem to be nodding yes.
No, I didn't see it. I have no interest in R. Kelly.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting documentary in that it asks some very important questions, like, can you make so much money that you're impervious from anything? That he for years been paying people off. They have been giving him a bad time. Letting him have a pass at his record companies because he makes them lots of money. What does it say there? Who's the French director?
French author says women over 50 are too old to make love to.
Yeah. Well, we don't read his books anyway. They're in French. Incapable of dating women his age. Well, why should he spark an outrage for that? Who you date is a matter of your own personal taste, right? And
this guy
has nothing to do with sexism or
Moy?
anything else, or
Never heard of
ageism.
him.
I mean, when I was younger, was I going to date somebody who was older? No.
And, now 50 is a young, chipper woman.
Yeah.
But, the guy looks very young. He doesn't look like he's 50. But,
I mean,
it's all a matter of, I could never date a 21-year-old.
What are the people who are giving him a bad time saying? That if he can't get a hard on,
like my kid.
Listen to me. If he can't get a hard on over old women, he's a bad guy.
Well, no, but why should you condemn or try to shame people that he's not attracted to? There are plenty of people that were probably attracted to women over 50.
He said they are invisible to him.
Well, I realize I'm invisible. I'm invisible.
Maybe he wants to host the Oscars.
Hey, I'm invisible all the time. When I'm on a subway car, nobody's looking at me anymore. You know, I'm invisible.
Yeah, they're afraid you'll take the senior seat.
Yeah.
So if they don't look in your eyes, they can take the seat and they don't have to
I go up to them, I go, I want that fucking seat. I get nothing for being 79 years old. I want that. Okay? Give me the fucking seat.
Yeah, give me your wallet.
Yeah. You know. But how did anybody feel that way like I do about this guy, that he really shouldn't be assailed for this, that it's a personal taste? And you know,
it's his own business, man.
Yeah, but I don't see why they're giving him all this press for a stupid statement like that. You know, that.
Well, you got to read the full article. He kind of goes in depth into it, so he sort of digs deeper.
It's a little too late in the show to bring this up, but have you been following the Kevin Spacey arraignment and so on, indictment on?
Yeah, he got off a speeding ticket.
Well,
he got a warning.
That's another story altogether. But I don't know that. I'm trying to say what really happened there. That, you know, he like grabbed a guy's thigh, and that was it. And so now he
actually opened his zipper and he put his hand down his pants and fondled him.
Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't
know.
Yeah.
And was this guy underage at the time?
He was underage before a few drinks.
No, he was 18. He was
18. He was underage to drink.
Oh.
But that's his own personal crime. As long as Spacey wasn't like trying to get him drunk.
Well, that's what they said. He was buying him drinks.
They were saying that he was underage when he was not drunk, and then he was drunk and he was overage. That's the quote-unquote situation.
Oh, that's his defense?
Well, anyway, the point is that doesn't this guy have the ability to say, get your fucking hands out of my fucking pants?
When he's drunk, maybe not.
You know, I mean, you know, it's not like he was forcing himself on him. You know,
then he goes home and whines to mommy, and then mommy gets upset.
No, he didn't whine to mommy. He actually phoned his girlfriend and said, guess what
his mom is the one that's making all the noise.
Guess what just happened to me? Guess who just put his hand down my pants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his mom is sitting there in all the press conferences.
Is his mom a celebrity?
Yeah, his mom is not a celebrity, but she's a news reporter or something.
He was excited about it until a new perspective came along, and we're seeing a lot of this.
He was excited until he found out Kevin Spacey wasn't a girl.
Everything is being reanalyzed with the new perspective.
Yeah.
What was that Adam's apple?
Hooker? Oops.
Hooker?
Oops.
I mean,
Hooker.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know what to think of the whole Kevin Spacey thing, but I think really he should skate on this one. You know?
Well, he had that little spiel before Christmas, that YouTube spiel that he had?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something to that.
Where he was doing...
I don't know what it was, because you would think that he was quiet for so long, and then all of a sudden he'd come out with that. I'm sure he talked to his attorney before he did that.
Well, he did the thing in character. Actually, he sounded pretty good. It was...
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I think... I just think this is somewhat of a bogus charge. In most cases, if this kind of thing happened, it wasn't Kevin Spacey and it wasn't in the Me Too area, and it doesn't even constitute Me Too, because Me Too is a women's movement, not a guy who's getting his a hand down his pants.
Nah,
to me, it looks like a money grab to me.
Piece of the action.
Yeah. I would have just looked at him and said, just keep going far enough so I can file suit. That's what I would have said to him, and I think he would have stopped. You know. I just, you know, and I'm not defending him. I hear he's a real creep, you know. I hear he's a real asshole. But, you know, there's no law against being an asshole. And that's kind of what is happening at this point with him. And then I mean, these are he was what, number 2 after what's his name? After God, my mind's a blank now.
John Travolta.
No.
Oh,
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
He was the second one after Weinstein.
Oh yeah.
And I think wasn't third Louis C.K.? I think.
No, there was a lot of people that.
Yeah, I think there was a few in between there.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And some many false accusations. And
some stick and some don't.
Yeah, it's like spaghetti.
But you know something? Any assertion of that sort sticks, whether you want it to or not, whether it's disproven or not. There will always be people that will say, "Isn't he the guy who blah blah blah?"
It stinks up the room.
Well, yeah, and you could be totally innocent. That's why I'm so careful about these stories, is because all somebody has to do is accuse you, and even though you present it, oh look, I didn't do this, and everybody comes forward and says no, he didn't do that, and you're proven that you didn't do it. There's still going to be those people who go, isn't that the guy who,
Well, look at the Supreme Court thing, with Blasey Ford. People thought, we're giving her credibility because of her profession.
I still give her credibility.
And but on the other hand, they investigated it and they found no evidence. Now the FBI is no good. 1 minute they're great.
Oh, the FBI had their hands tied.
Trump.
2 days.
The FBI had their hands tied. Yeah,
when the FBI hates Trump, they're good. When they don't agree with you, then they're bad.
No, you're taking this in a whole different direction. We're just saying that I believe that Blasey Ford was telling the truth.
Yeah. On what basis?
Huh?
On what basis? She was telling the truth, but she wasn't talking about the right guy.
Hold on a second. Why is Brian, why are you calling us in the last 30 seconds of the program?
Kevin Spacey was mentioned.
Huh? Why are you calling the last 30 seconds of the program?
Oh, you were closed the other 2 days. I was just testing to see if you were. I just called Jack then, but. Sorry.
I thought I'd just test to see if you were there. Okay. Well, anyway.
I tried going on your Facebook page. I didn't see any updates or anything when you were coming back.
Yeah, no. What do you mean when I'm coming back? I was going to come back on Monday. I was back last week.
This show's not live.
Yeah, right. This will be heard at a later date, this show. That's the theme song. Gee, one more person and we would have had a full house, right? No. 2 more people we would have had a full house?
Yeah, 2. You got 8.
Okay, well, we did have 2 others, but they couldn't get in. How's that? All right?
Yeah. It was almost a full house.
So, Kevin, the device is out of you now and you're back to pain, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I'm happy for you. Charlie, good having you here. I love the fact that you're back. You're one of the gang. Yeah, Rob.
Glad to be back.
Terrific, and we're stopping the iTunes ads here. And let's see here. Also, Brian, thank you for participating tonight.
Brief as it was.
Phil Meyer, thank you. Thank you, Ray Renati, and Bree, thank you as well. In fact, what I'd like all of you to do is to give a big wave goodbye to everybody out there. There they go. There go the people. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. Let me just hang up on everybody. Who knows if my Skype is going to work anymore after tomorrow. But we'll figure that one out. Guess who's next? Of course, it's our old friend, Jack Bishop. He'll be here with The Intersection, and tomorrow night at 9:30, it's Damian Chaplin, and he's here with The Exchange. I'm back again tomorrow night with The Ramble, 10 o'clock Eastern time, same station in life, and in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.